Hello and welcome to Gulls All Access. I'm your host, Andy Zilch. The Gulls have a new head coach after hiring the AHL's all-time win leader in Roy Sommer. Sommer becomes the fourth head coach in Gulls AHL history. A familiar face, Sommer spent the last 26 seasons with the San Jose Sharks organization, developing the Barracuda's talent to compete at the NHL level.
Backhand, forehand to backhand. Let's see it. Nice.
Now Sommer will be tasked with developing the organization's youthful talent to compete for a roster spot in Anaheim. I sat down with Coach Sommer to get to know the Gulls' new bench boss. We're now joined with Gulls head coach Roy Sommer. Welcome to the organization. Welcome to the show. Thanks a lot. And just right off the get-go, I want to know your impressions now that you're on the good side here with the Anaheim organization and what your thoughts have been over the little bit that we've had with you.
Well, you know what it's been kind of a lot of ups and downs with our season so far. We've had some good moments and some bad moments. I think we're just trying to find our way through the season right now.
I want to start with you growing up and getting ingrained in the sport of hockey. How did that come to be as a kid growing up in Oakland, California?
My mom wanted a male influence in our household, seeing as though my dad wasn't around much. And so one of the kids on our street started playing hockey, and my mom asked that guy if she could bring me to a couple practices, and I think I was like 7 or 8, and so I started going, and my older brother started first, and then I just kind of became a rink rat. It became our weekends, like most California parents, and so basically my mom shuffled 3 boys every weekend all around the Bay Area playing, and that's kind of how I got my start.
As you got further along, when did you realize, all right, I could start making a career out of this, and people started influencing you to continue on that path?
Well, I think I was the first Californian to come out of to play in the National Hockey League. When I played in the Western League, I think I was the only American player playing in the Western League. I went from California playing 30 games a year to my first year playing in the Alberta Junior League to playing 104 games. We ended up winning the Calder Cup that year, and that's kind of how I got my feet wet. And then the next year I went back to Edmonton and didn't make that team. I was traded to the Calgary Centennials and played 2 years there. That was my draft year, and I was drafted by Toronto, and that's kind of that's the short version of how I got kind of started.
What drew you to want to coach? What sparked that moment that you wanted to get behind a bench after you were playing?
I was playing in Muskegon for a guy by the name of Rick Lee. He goes, well, there's an opportunity for you to be my assistant with Muskegon next year. And he goes, would you be interested in doing that? And he was a great guy to work under, real players coach kind of guy. And, that's kind of how I got my start.
Tell got a piece of it, puck cleared, and there it is. Win number 637 for Bay Area native Roy Sommer. It's only fitting that Roy did it here on California soil.
I've been in the game for so long, it just they kind of add up, and first it's 200, 400, then 600, and then it was in sight, and finally got it tonight. So, hey, thanks for everyone coming to watch.
Roy Sommer, the head coach of the San Jose Barracuda, and now the winningest coach in the history of the American Hockey League.
In terms of impacting a certain player, or maybe a moment that you cherish as a leader on a bench, does anything stand out to you?
Well, I've had a lot of guys. I think I've had 160, 170 guys that had played for me that ended up playing in the NHL. That's kind of what we're here for. I mean, you want to win. I think it's a big part of it. I think it's a big part of development. But on the flip side of it is, every kid that's playing here, their dream is to play in the NHL. So the fulfilling part about coaching here is to see a guy get their first opportunity, and they're able to support their family, and probably never, if they play it the right way, never have to work again and live pretty comfortably, and then knowing that you had a part of that person and their family being able to take advantage of that situation.
Coming up, your San Diego Gulls now have an official beer. We'll check in with Second Chance Beer Company to discuss the creation of the Gulls Blue Line Blonde Ale, right here on Gulls All Access, presented by California Coast Credit Union. Join us on Saturday, November 26th for our annual Hockey Fights Cancer game versus the Coachella Valley Firebirds. Together, we look to inspire hope and courage for those who are living with, going through, and moving past cancer. All funds raised through the San Diego Gulls Foundation jersey auction and surprise puck sale will support American Cancer Society Relay for Life. Purchase tickets now at sandiegogulls.com/promotions. Welcome back. The San Diego Gulls are the Anaheim Ducks' primary development affiliate in the American Hockey League. The two have an agreement now for the 8th consecutive season. We'll now take a look at some of the successful Gulls that have made an impact in the NHL on a segment we call Gulls Grads. On October 10th, the Ducks announced their opening night roster, which included several familiar names. 11 total players previously wore a Gulls uniform. Those players are forward Sam Carrick.
Sam Carrick just keeps rolling along, doesn't he?
Max Comtois.
Comtois, he scores! How much does Max Comtois love playing in this building?
Max Jones.
Ages and they score!
Isaac Lundestrom.
Isaac, backhand, scores!
Troy Terry.
Got it to Terry, who steps in front and scores!
Trevor Zegras.
Zegras fights off a defender, scores!
Are you kidding me? The kid knows how to finish.
And Mason McTavish.
Scores! With backhand, 5-hole, and the Ducks are back in it.
Defenseman Simon Benoit and Jamie Drysdale, and both goaltenders John Gibson and Anthony Stolars. Forward Pavel Regenda collected 4 points in 4 games during his reassignment with the Gulls. He last skated with San Diego on November 8th, tallying an assist in the Gulls' 7-0 victory over Henderson. The very next night, the Slovakian scored his first NHL goal on home ice against the Minnesota Wild.
Finds Regenda, score! Pavel Regenda, his first National Hockey League goal.
Through last weekend's games, 3 of the top 4 leading scorers on the team once wore a Gulls jersey. Troy Terry continued his strong offensive presence by leading the team with 13 assists and 19 points in 15 games.
Score! Troy Terry popped to the front of the net, just 19 seconds in, number 19 makes it 1-0.
Trevor Zegras' scoring flair has produced 7 goals and 6 assists for 13 points in 15 games played this season.
Trying to get it to Terry, loose puck, and it's in! It's Trevor Zegras on the goal. We talk about creativity and skill, and sometimes when you have players like that, they don't need a lot of opportunities to cash in.
Lastly, Mason McTavish is underway with his first NHL season that has produced 1 goal and 6 assists, amassing 7 points in 15 appearances so far. Head coach Dallas Eakins remains at the helm for his 4th season with the Ducks after spending 4 seasons as the head coach of the San Diego Gulls. A sensational rookie season has catapulted former Gull Trevor Zegras to international fame. Zegras' creative playing style and jaw-dropping goals have captivated the hockey world and landed the rising superstar on the cover of EA Sports' NHL 23.
Zegras here, he can, oh, look at this! Oh, it's in! Oh my goodness, what a goal! The magic of Trevor Zegras.
We take you behind the scenes of Trevor's NHL 23 cover shoot.
We are filming the NHL 23 cover shoot. What do we think?
I love it.
Yeah? I always wore 11 growing up when I was younger. I don't know, it's just the first number I picked and tried to stick with it for as long as I can.
Trevor.
Hi, Sarah.
How are you?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
This is crazy.
Cover athletes here, so glad
Awesome.
you guys to
Yeah.
meet before
The Canada jersey, nice.
Ridiculous. I know. It's not your favorite.
Hell yeah.
Probably.
So we're doing some photos outside with some jerseys, and obviously Sarah's here taking some photos with her, and she's obviously really cool, and she's doing a good job, so it's been a lot of fun. Here we go, Motion has the floor. What's up? Come on. I need more direction.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people here, a lot of hands helping out, so it's definitely really cool. So I'm happy to be here. Did you see the photo? Looks sick, yeah. The thighs, I'm sorry. It's all about the thighs. What are you laughing at?
You have no hair on your thighs.
It's genetics, Jen?
All right, so that's a cut. We're taking Trevor over to the ice set.
On the ice. Oh! All right, I'll try and put it on a tee for you. Yeah! Obviously, I got to meet Sarah. Really cool. Obviously, a great hockey player, and happy to be doing it with her. Made the day a lot more fun and a lot easier. That's a wrap here for the cover. It was a lot of fun. But yeah, definitely overall just a really fun day. That's it. That's the next Selly, for sure. It's a wrap.
The team recently introduced their first official beer, the Gulls Blue Line Blonde Ale. Brewed by local brewery Second Chance Beer Company, the beer has already been a huge hit with the fans. We sat down with Second Chance's CEO, Virginia Morrison, to talk about the creation of the beer and the partnership with the Gulls.
We learned that the Gulls were searching for a craft beer partner to bring into the arena for their Friday night specials, and we jumped at the chance. And we just hit it off with everyone at your team. And who doesn't want to work with great people and have amazing beer? We knew we wanted something like crushable, that people could drink and have a few of, still be very safe and enjoy, not a palate wrecker. Hops, water, yeast, malt, only the 4 traditional ingredients, very, very drinkable. We have a whole production facility here at the brewery, so grain comes in from outside, we go into the brew kettle, mash tun over here. Finished beer will go into a bright tank over on that side, and then back there we do the canning process. So that's where we get those beautiful blue and orange colors coming through. We're about to brew our second batch already. I was at the game like last Friday and seeing all the cans coming around, and I do think too that it's really very meaningful that Pechanga Arena, which isn't maybe as necessarily known for craft beer as Snapdragon or Petco, is embracing craft beer more, and then as by extension, so are the fans. And those fans might be new to craft beer, and if we can show them the possibilities and that craft beer can be so delicious, it opens their mind, and then they start wondering what else craft beer or Second Chance beer has to offer. Well, I don't think it was any coincidence that the Gulls won their first game when we had the watch party here, which was, I think, a preview of coming attractions because the Gulls Blue Line Blonde Ale is a winning beer. It's like tasting victory.
Coming up, we'll have part 2 of our sit-down with head coach Roy Sommer, right here on Gulls All Access, presented by California Coast Credit Union. Gulliver's Kids Club is back. The 22-23 Kids Club membership includes a Gulls lunchbox, beanie, pop bubble game, paracord bracelet, 3 ticket vouchers, and more for only $25. Purchase your Kids Club membership now by visiting sandiegogulls.com/kidsclub. In this episode's edition of Mic'd Up, we go inside the home opener with head coach Roy Sommer.
Look for that quick strike in front, chip it, and that center guy get in through, and that far winger, you're going to become the F2 on it. You guys know what I'm talking about there? So know who you're playing against. No difference in the NHL, and all of a sudden their big line comes on there. So you got to play a little bit different, and you got to help out. All right, let's go. Let's go.
Hey, shoot out on this guy. Don't get in too tight. He's good and tight. My gang, 1 year early. Let's get 1 year now.
There you go. Nice.
Shot. Come on, boys. Hey, we get a chance to kill down. Go.
Go. Go.
Go, go, go. Hey, we change quick, you guys. Pound it, get to the net. Like we're pressing. We got two in there. We got our seal up here. That third guy, or that weak side guy, he can't cheat up. They're keeping a guy right in front of the net. He's all alone. Hey, that weak side guy, we're going. You got a job. You got to help sometimes. Logan, you and Mac. Hurry, hurry, go, go, go. Let's go. They're tired. Let's go. Come on, boys. Come on, boys. Nice. Get it. Win it. That's an ice. Get ready. Let's go. Right up, Strander. Points are open. Right idea. Good spots in the neutral, you guys. Good spots. Let's go.
And now part two of our sit down with head coach Roy Sommer. You signed an agreement with the Anaheim organization to coach here in San Diego after 26 years with San Jose. And I know it's a two-way agreement. It's not just Anaheim saying we want you. You wanted to come here too. So why was San Diego so attractive to you?
Well, San Diego has always had a reputation, and they put good players on the ice. I like the way they ran things down here, and heck, it's San Diego, and you're on the beach. I know when our teams came down here to play, like this was one game they really got into just because of the fan base. You come down here and it's like playing in the NHL. It's like the talk of the town and kind of a good place to come. And I thought I still had something more to give, and then I saw that they were looking for a coach, and I called Pat Verbeek, and we worked things out, and here I am.
Well, we're happy to have you, and also we're embraced too with your background. You have a nickname of Cowboy, so I want to talk a little bit about that. And I know you have really good roots up in Montana as kind of a summer getaway. So talk about how that all came to fruition.
When I was playing in Spokane, I hung around with an older guy. I was 21, I think, years old. There was a guy named Larry Hale. He had some guy living at his house, and he goes, hey, he's selling this kind of homestead land in Montana. And I went with this guy and checked this land. I was like in the middle of nowhere, in this beautiful valley, like everything you'd want, like a valley, meadows, mountains on both sides, no one around, and all this acreage for I think it was like 24 grand. So I ended up buying that, and so every summer I'd go back there, and I kind of didn't have any place to live, so I kind of lived in a teepee. I bought a teepee, and Melissa, my wife at the time, was going she goes, I don't know if we can live back. We didn't have, there was no electricity, and then when I met her, she bought me cement, and she goes, if I give you the cement, you'll build a foundation and you'll build a cabin. So that's what I ended up doing. I spent 2 years doing that and built a log cabin, but we didn't have, running water, electricity, or any of that stuff. And so we were up there for, I don't know, I had that 20-something years, and she goes like, hey, we got to, let's start looking for a place like on a lake with electricity. So then we bought a place up near Kalispell, Montana, on a lake, and kind of built a good relationship with a bunch of people up there. And I got my horses, and then when I hit 637 wins, the most in the American Hockey League, the Sharks bought me a drift boat. So I spend my time on the waters, fly fishing and drifting and riding horses and kind of living the dream.
Well, I want to talk about the look that you have with the bolo tie that we've seen you wear a few times here in San Diego. And I know the very first one was very special to you, so I want you to share that with our viewers.
Well, it was, so I'm, I guess I'd be third generation California, because my grandfather was born in 1894, and his father came over in, I think, the 1850s or 60s. And, they came over on a covered wagon, settled in Salinas, Gonzales area. And, down near Monterey, and he had this, he ended up, his dad had a bolo tie made, and it's funny because there's a photo I have of the Sommer family, and I think it was shot in like 1903 or something. and they're all on a porch, and that he's the dad, my grandfather's father had the bolo on, and he gave that to my grandfather, and then my dad didn't give it to me. My grandfather had died, and I saw it on his desk, you know, when we were kind of going through his stuff. So that bolo's probably, 130 years old, something like that. And so I kind of grabbed it, and I thought it was pretty cool. And we were struggling, and I forget where I was. I think I was coaching in Worcester. And so I had it with me, and I said, you know what, I'm going to change things up. No one, you know, hockey's kind of a purist kind of sport, and I said, I'm going to just try this bolo. So I put the bolo on. We were kind of struggling, and we won. And everyone goes, you got to wear that thing again. So I put it on again, and we won. And then, like, I had an unbelievable run with it. And then, so I started kind of wearing it and started wearing other ones. And I go, you know, why not? I enjoy it. It's something. And then I have a whole bunch of different ones for different things that happened. And so then I've had some other people send them to me. And so it's just kind of been kind of my thing the last, I don't know, 15, 20 years, something like that.
Well, Coach, thanks a lot for your time. It was a pleasure getting to know you a little bit better.
All right, thank you.
That'll do it for this edition of Gulls All Access. Join us next time as we sit down with Gulls forward Rocco Grimaldi. For the cast and crew, my name is Andy Zilch. Thanks for watching Gulls All Access.